Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar channel 106 on Kenstream app. We are also live on our Facebook and YouTube platform, that is Camnet TV. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. NGOCC demands justice for 10-month-old baby who died in Livingstone stampede. Opposition civil society challenge President HICHILEMA to honor dialogue commitments. ZCLU demands probe into death and prolonged detention of female suspect in police custody. In international news, Algeria to unveil military mobilization bill amid rising regional tensions. And in sports news, Zambia under-20 gears up for crucial clash against Egypt. Join me with the details shortly after this break. With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. The non-governmental gender organization Coordinating Council, NGOCC, is demanding justice for the death of a 10-month-old baby in a stampede in Livingstone, reportedly caused by a crowd scrambling for money allegedly thrown by Livingstone Mayor Ms. Constance Mulebai. NGOCC Executive Director Annie Mbere Anamela has condemned the manner in which the situation unfolded, stressing that leaders must exercise responsibility and avoid actions that put citizens, especially vulnerable groups like children, at risk. She says public officials should know that leadership is a call to serve with humility and to distribute resources through established governance channels, not through disorderly or populist gestures. Ms. Anamela further states that the tragic incident is a reflection of the high poverty levels reflecting many Zambian families.
The Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC, has noted with sadness that a 10-month-old baby died in Livingstone in a stampede. We have also learned that this incident was caused by members of the public jostling for money, which was allegedly tossed to the crowd by Livingstone Mayor Ms. Constance Mulebai. First and foremost, we wish to convey our sincere condolences to the family of the 10-month-old baby. We would like to also take this opportunity to remind our leaders that leadership is a call to service with humility and respect for the citizenry, especially for the vulnerable. Our leaders are duty-bound to use existing governance structures to ensure that resources are distributed fairly and equally among citizens and not through unconventional means. This act is testament to the prevailing high poverty levels in this country and the challenges that families are facing at personal and household levels. However, leaders should not take advantage of the citizenry's vulnerabilities and treat them in dehumanizing ways, such as the Livingstone incident. This is not only irresponsible, but reflects a lack of respect for human dignity. What compounds this situation is that a life has been lost in circumstances that could have been avoided. In this regard, we urge the relevant authorities and the Zambia police in particular to take keen interest in this matter and ensure justice prevails for the 10-month-old baby. We also demand that all people involved in this very sad incident are sanctioned.
A consortium of opposition political parties and civil society organizations has challenged Republican President Hakainde Hichilema to uphold his commitment to national dialogue, accusing the government of failing to follow through on its promises. Speaking during a press briefing, leaders of the opposition reviewed that despite multiple attempts to engage the government on matters of national interest, their efforts have not yielded any tangible results. They said this contradicts President Hichilema's public statements that his administration maintains an open-door policy for dialogue with political stakeholders. Anti-United Kwacha Alliance Chairperson Sakiba Skota criticized the president's remarks as mere political theatrics aimed at misleading the public. He noted that the president's call was intended to deflect attention from remarks made by FDD Vice President Chifumo Banda during the funeral of the late Edith Nawakwi, which had drawn significant national attention. Meanwhile, Socialist Party President Dr. Fred Membe announced that the opposition will unite more strongly moving forward, revealing plans to field a single candidate in the upcoming Lumezi by-election. These follows the conviction and subsequent declaration of his seat vacant.
We believe that Mr. HICHILEMA issued the call for dialogue with the opposition, not because he believed in dialogue, but because he wanted to downplay the impact of the well-received message that Vice President Chifumo Banda had delivered just before Mr. HICHILEMA took the podium. If President HICHILEMA believed in dialogue, he would have, as we have stated formally, followed his call with concrete steps to put in motion what he said at the church service of President Nawakwi. Our view, our strongly held view, is that Mr. HICHILEMA's call for political dialogue is not sincere.
Since they have decided to go ahead on this dangerous path, the united voice of the opposition will rise stronger than ever before. Such attacks unite us. Such injustice unite us. Such abuses unite us. We will work together. We will field one candidate in Rumezi. We will avoid splitting the vote. And we will decisively defeat the UPND in Rumezi. This by-election will serve as a clear signal of what lies ahead in the 2026 general elections.
Indeed hypocritical and insincere that you, as head of state, are seeking to broker peace in other countries when you are busy abusing the rights of your citizens by arresting and oppressing perceived political opponents. We thus demand that you start walking the talk and stop the fanfare of reading good, inclusive speeches. May I say actually, hypocritical speeches, where your actions are contrary and meant to disenfranchise citizens. Number two, destabilization of political parties. You, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and your government have been at the forefront of destabilizing opposition political parties with a view to weaken the opposition in Zambia.
Meanwhile, the United Party for National Development, UPND, has dismissed opposition claims suggesting that the government is undermining national dialogue and governance, calling the allegations misleading and politically motivated. UPND media team member Cosmas Chileche, at a major briefing today, reaffirmed President HICHILEMA's commitment to inclusive dialogue, saying his invitation to political stakeholders was a sincere effort to strengthen democracy, not a political stunt. He criticized the opposition for rejecting the president's call for engagement, accusing them of choosing hostility and misinformation over constructive participation. The ruling party also emphasized its commitment to inclusive constitutional and electoral reforms, dismissing claims of secrecy in the progress.
I was expecting that following that statement that the president made to call for dialogue, the opposition would have taken this opportunity. I would like to urge the Zambia Center for Interparty Dialogue to provide leadership as an umbrella body that is mandated to spearhead national dialogue, to provide leadership to the opposition. The opposition, they are so crowded in their confusion. This is because President Hakainde Hichilema has raised the bar for presidency so high that even this time, they are still even failing to find anybody that can match our president. And that is a problem which is in the opposition. There's so much of greed. Everyone wants to be president, but there can only be one person to lead at a time. And it must be noted to the opposition that there can only be one person at a particular time. And this time, the president was voted for a two-term constitutional mandate. There's no change of government that is coming in 2026. We have delivered 90% of what we promised in the opposition. Therefore, we have a sweatless victory in the coming 2026 general elections. And instead of the opposition putting their house in order, they have continued with the bickering. What a shame.
You must be part and parcel of government. You must be in that parliament. And that is the reason why this constitution amendment process will include the cripples, will include Dr. Oliver Sasa, will include those that are blind, will include everyone who is a victim of unfortunate circumstance. That is why we are saying, when we amend the constitution shall also have the capacity to include people that are differently abled.
The Advocates for National Development and Democracy, ANDD, says the revival of Konkola Copper Mines, KCM, and Vendata Resources is a major boost for Zambia's mining sector and the broader copper belt economy. ANDD Executive Director Samuel Banda says the progress being made at KCM is not only restoring operations at the mine, but also stimulating socio-economic transformation in surrounding communities. Mr. Banda notes that since Vendata regained control of KCM, the mining firm has launched an ambitious program to revitalize operations, leading to significant improvements in working conditions. He added that job opportunities for Zambians are steadily increasing, bringing renewed hope to copperbelt communities that had been severely affected by years of stagnation at the mine. He further highlighted that Vendata has also resumed and expanded its corporate social responsibility (CSR) initiatives, allocating $20 million towards health, education, and community infrastructure.
We are pleased to note encouraging progress in the mining sector, particularly at KCM, which is being managed by global mining giant Vendata Resources. Just like majority Zambians and key stakeholders in the mining sector, we have observed that since Vendetta took over the operation of KCM asset, there's been serious progress. Vendetta Resources has demonstrated that it's committed to resuscitate KCM and is implementing ambitious programs to revitalize the mining asset. We have observed that working conditions have improved. Vendetta increased employee salaries to a tune of 20%. And Vendetta Resources also is implementing actually corporate social responsibility programs. It has expanded corporate social responsibility programs which are enhancing development in some communities where KCM has operations. Vendetta has clearly demonstrated through implementation of CSR that it is committed not just to mining development, but also to improving the welfare of the communities where KCM has operations. As NDD, we support such development because we believe that this is key to improving the living standards of the Copper Belt people, to contributing to national development, to create more employment and business opportunities for Zambians, which actually Vendetta is doing. We therefore call upon political stakeholders to avoid politicizing development at KCM, to avoid politicizing the mining sector. We believe that Zambians are not interested in politics. Zambians are interested in development.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has convicted former incarcerated Lumezo Member of Parliament, Monia Zulu, on one count of ordering seditious practices in September 2023, contrary to Section 57 of the Penal Code. Reading judgment this morning, Lusaka Magistrate Trevor Kasanda found Mr. Zulu guilty and ruled that his remarks had a seditious motive and what he said had capacity to raise discontent among Zambians, especially that he was a lawmaker. Magistrate Kasanda also ruled that MPs must ensure that statements do not lead to any discontent and was satisfied that the prosecution proved the case beyond all reasonable doubt. Allegations are that on September 6, 2023, Mr. Zulu said seditious words claiming President Hakainde Hichilema was going to dissolve Parliament on Friday, September 8, 2023, after addressing Parliament, and that he was going to call for early elections. Meanwhile, the court has reserved mitigation and sentencing in the matter to 2nd May 2025 due to Mr. Zulu's lawyer Boniface Chiwala being away. The Zambia Civil Liberties Union has condemned the death of Anna Kandonga in police custody, calling for an immediate and independent investigation into both the circumstances surrounding her death and the prolonged detention that preceded it. Ms. Kandonga was one of the 3 women arrested on March 28, 2025 for allegedly attempting to bribe a police officer in connection with a defilement case involving her husband. ZCLU Executive Director Isaac Mwanza has expressed concern over what he has described as a violation of the women's constitutional rights. He highlights that the 3 women were held for over 30 days without being granted bail or police bond, despite being low risk and eligible under Zambian law to be released on their own recognizance.
The Zambian Civil Liberties Union expresses grave concern over the recent death of Anna Kandonga in police custody. Regardless of the public sentiment towards the women's actions, their fundamental rights must be protected. These rights are enshrined in both our Constitution and international convention. What makes this case especially alarming is the double standards in how justice is applied. In Zambia today, individuals accused of looting millions in public funds are often not detained and are swiftly granted bail or bond. Yet these 3 women, poor, publicly criticized, and evidently low risk, were held for over 30 days without access to bail or bond. That is not justice, it is discrimination. Their prolonged detention reflects a disturbing trend of rights violations affecting not just these women, but many ordinary Zambians and political detainees across the country. It suggests a systemic failure in ensuring justice is applied equally, fairly, and humanely. Justice must not be selective. Human rights must not be conditional. No Zambian should die in custody under questionable circumstances, and no suspect, in our view, should be detained or denied their liberty unlawfully. We therefore urgently demand immediate reforms to ensure law enforcement agencies upholds the constitutional rights of all suspects, regardless of class, gender, or public perception.
The Department of Immigration has fined Michael Lumato, a Tanzanian truck driver, 80,000 kwacha for aiding 37 undocumented Ethiopian nationals in one of several enforcement actions carried out on April 29, 2025. Mr. Lumato, 54, was convicted by the Mupika Magistrate Court and now faces 2 years imprisonment should he fail to pay the fine. He was arrested on March 23, 2025 at the Mpika Weighbridge after immigration and police officers discovered 37 Ethiopians aged between 14 and 39 hidden inside the truck he was driving. Immigration Public Relations Officer Martin Shika says the group was found when Lomato opened the container after hearing loud banging noises from within. He says the individuals inside were reportedly struggling to breathe due to lack of oxygen and exhaustion.
The Mpika Magistrate Court on 29th April 2025 convicted and sentenced a 54-year-old Tanzanian truck driver Charles Michael Lumato to a fine of 80,000 kwacha, or in default to serve 2 years simple imprisonment for aiding 37 undocumented Ethiopian nationals. Lumato was apprehended on 23rd March 2025 at the Mpika Weighbridge by a joint team of immigration and police officers after they discovered 37 Ethiopian nationals aged between 14 and 39 locked inside the truck he was driving. The group was found after Lumato, prompted by the loud banging noises from the container, opened it, inadvertently exposing the individuals inside who were struggling to breathe due to exhaustion and lack of oxygen. On the same day, all 37 Ethiopian nationals were convicted and sentenced to fines ranging from 1,500 to 5,000 kwacha, or in default 9 months simple imprisonment for failing to appear before the nearest immigration officer upon entry into Zambia. The truck and trailer used to transport the individuals have been conditionally forfeited to the state. These convictions bring the total number of convictions secured by the Department of Immigration on 29th April 2025 to 72. Further, in Western Province, the Sananga Immigration Office on 29th April 2025 apprehended a 51-year-old Zambian national, Emmanuel Choza, for harboring 2 undocumented Congolese nationals, a mother and a 13-year-old son, and for assisting the woman in fraudulently obtaining a Zambian national registration card. Mr. Choza was arrested within the magistrate court premises where he had gone to attend the woman's court hearing on illegal entry charges. Preliminary investigations revealed that Choza had housed the woman for 2 years and later facilitated the arrival of her son from Congo to join them in Zambia.
The Jesuit for Theological Reflections, JCTR, is urging government to provide tax relief, expand social protection programs, promote renewable energy, and foster inclusive economic growth in the 2026 national budget. This follows the recorded reduction in the Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket, BNNB, for the month of April 2025, which now stands at 11,414 kwacha 99 ngwe for a family of 5 in Lusaka. This represents a slight decrease of 128 kwacha 79 ngwe from the March 2025 figure. Despite this monthly drop, the BNBE BNB is still at 584 kwacha 59 ngwe, higher than it was in December 2024, pointing to a steady upward trend in the cost of living over the past few months. JCTR Social and Economic Development Programs Manager Edward Musosa says the decline in April was attributed to price reduction in both food and essential non-food items. He adds that the total cost of food items fell slightly to 5,058 kwacha 98 ngwe, helped by lower prices in fruits like apples and oranges, while that of non-food items such as charcoal also saw price relief, dropping at 62 kwacha 50 ngwe per 90 kg bag due to improved supply conditions. He, however, says the cost of some vegetables like rape, bondwe, and pumpkin leaves rose to high irrigation costs and limited availability, adding pressure to households' budget. JCTR notes that while this marginal reduction is welcome, each remains insufficient for most Zambians whose income fall far below the current BNNB.
The reduction was mostly due to a reduction of 62 kwacha and 50 ngwe in the average unit price of charcoal, which has now reached 500 kwacha per 90 kg bag from 562 kwacha and 50 ngwe in March 2025. Most traders attributed this to changes in weather patterns from the rainy to the drier season that resulted in increased charcoal production and ease movement from the production sites. JCTR takes recognition of this reduction in the aggregate cost of the BNNB in the month of April. However, this remains negligible given one of the highest increases recorded in the first quarter of 2025. The April 2025 cost of the BNNB for a family of 5 in Lusaka is also higher than the current average formal sector earnings of 7,731 kwacha and double the average national income of 5,369 kwacha. The high cost of living highlights various inequalities that undermine people's dignity. Drawing from the teachings of the late Pope Francis, especially Fratelli Tutti, we are reminded that each human being possesses an inalienable dignity and that authentic development must be built on inclusion and respect for that dignity. Thus, in the spirit of faith in action, fraternity, and justice, JCTR recommends the following. 1. Provide tax relief for workers. The government, through the 2026 national budget, should urgently revise the pay-as-you-earn tax bands and rates to cushion workers from the harsh effects of inflation and the rising cost of living.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has commended Zambia for its encouraging progress in economic transformation and debt management. Speaking during a bilateral meeting with Finance and National Planning Minister Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane in Washington, D.C., IMF Deputy Managing Director Nijo Clark urged Zambia to explore more ways to enhance domestic revenue mobilization. In its latest regional economic outlook, the IMF projects Zambia's economy to grow by 6.2% in 2025, while the Zambian government has made a more optimistic forecast of 6.6% as announced in the 2025 national budget. Dr. Msokotwane reaffirmed the government's commitment to sustaining economic growth through sound homegrown reform policies aimed at improving the business environment, creating wealth, and delivering employment opportunities for the youth. He further assured that Zambia will continue its focus on fiscal stabilization, enhancing productivity, and scaling up domestic revenue generation even after completing the debt restructuring process. Dr. Msokotwane was accompanied to the spring meetings by Secretary to the Treasury Felix Nkulukusa, Bank of Zambia Governor Dr. Deni Kalalia, and Zambia Revenue Authority Commissioner General Dingani Banda. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance has dismissed as false recent online reports claiming the IMF instructed the government to halt all new loan contracts until the debt restructuring is completed. The Energy Regulation Board, ERB, has revised the pump prices for May 2025, reducing the cost of major petroleum products in response to falling international oil prices and a slight appreciation of the kwacha. Effective midnight, 30th April 2025, the price of petrol has dropped from 34 kwacha 98 ngwe to 32 kwacha 14 ngwe per liter, while diesel has been reduced from 30 kwacha 23 ngwe to 27 kwacha 38 ngwe per liter. Further reductions include kerosene, which will now be sold at 26 kwacha 88 ngwe per liter from the previous 29 kwacha 54 ngwe, and jet A1 fuel, which drops from 32 kwacha 51 ngwe to 29 kwacha 44 ngwe per liter. ERB Board Chairperson James Banda attributes these downward adjustments to a 3.81% drop in international petrol prices, a 4.374% in diesel prices, and a 4.28% reduction in jet fuel prices, along with the kwacha's marginal appreciation by 0.06% against the US dollar during April. He emphasized that the pricing changes are part of its monthly review process, which takes into account global oil trends and exchange rate fluctuations, with the goal being to ensure that domestic fuel prices remain aligned with market realities, with protecting consumers and maintaining supply stability. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar channel 106, as well as on Kenstream app. We are also coming live on our Facebook page, that is Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, which is Camnet TV. We'll now take a set of commercials to join me with some international stories as well as sports news after the break. Keep watching.
Only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us, ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZCLU units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, midday news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar channel 106. We are also on CamStream app. We are also coming to you live via our social media platforms, that is Facebook, which is Camnet TV, and also on our YouTube channel at Camnet TV. We now continue with the rest of the news. In international news, Algeria is said to unveil a sweeping military mobilization bill on Wednesday, marking a significant shift in the country's national security posture amid great tensions with neighboring Morocco and Mali. The draft legislation, already adopted by the Council of Ministers earlier this month, outlines provisions for a full-scale wartime mobilization. If enacted, it would bring civilians, the economy, and national institutions under direct military command during periods of crisis. The move comes as the country's Chief of Army Staff continues to tour border regions, personally overseeing military exercises and readiness drills. The government says these actions are part of a broader effort to reinforce national security in the face of mounting regional instability. Here is a roundup of international news.
Amid ongoing tension with neighbours Morocco and Mali, Algeria will unveil a military mobilisation bill on Wednesday. Adopted by the Council of Ministers earlier this month, the draft law signals a significant shift in the country's security policies. It lays the groundwork for a full-scale wartime mobilisation that will put civilians, the economy and the country's institutions under direct military command. The proposal comes after Algeria earlier this month said it had shot down a military drone near the country's borders with Mali. Its relations with former colonial power France have also deteriorated after Paris shifted its position to support Morocco's autonomy plan for the disputed Western Sahara region. The territory is claimed by the pro-independence Polisario Front, which receives support from Algiers. The proposed military mobilization bill has raised concerns amongst ordinary Algerians.
The Swedish police arrested a man on Wednesday linked to the shooting that claimed the lives of 3 people and injured several others the previous night. The shooting took place on Tuesday night in Uppsala, a city near Stockholm. Police later launched a manhunt after the perpetrator fled the scene. According to the police, they have not yet identified the motive of the attack and further indicated that the incident was not an act of terrorism or a hate attack. However, according to the public broadcaster SVT, one of the deceased is a man who was under investigation for plotting an attack targeting a relative of gang leader Ismail Abdo. Sweden has grappled with gang violence for years with frequent shootings and bombings. The mass shooting on February 4, 2025 at a campus in Sweden profoundly impacted the immigrant community. The attacker, Richard Andersson, who is a 35-year-old Swedish national, killed 10 individuals before taking his own life. Most victims were immigrants striving to build new The Southern African Development Community SADC began on Tuesday the withdrawal of its peacekeeping forces from the eastern regions of the Democratic Republic of Congo through Rwanda. Local media sources in Rwanda reported seeing SADC forces moving several trucks of soldiers and equipment from Goma in North Kivu province through Rwanda. Reports indicate that the convoy will travel to Chato in northwestern Tanzania before repatriation to various countries. Rwanda had agreed in April to give safe passage to the forces. The forces of several thousand peacekeeping troops from South Africa, Malawi and Tanzania had been sent to eastern Congo by the SADC in 2023 to help the Congolese government pacify a mineral-rich region plagued by various insurgencies. The SADC military mission had suffered heavy losses in the previous months, with around a dozen soldiers killed as the M23 rebels seized control of Goma. Their termination came after losing about 17 soldiers to the rebel in the region.
The Zambia Under-20 men's national football team has intensified preparations ahead of their second Group A match against host Egypt in the ongoing Total Energies match against Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. The match is scheduled to take place on Saturday, 3rd May 2025. Zambia played to a goalless draw in their opening fixture against Sierra Leone, while Egypt secured a narrow 1-0 victory over South Africa, giving them an early edge in the group standings. Speaking ahead of the crucial encounter, Zambia Under-20 midfielder Philemon Chilimina expressed confidence in the team's readiness despite the pressure of facing the hosts. He also called on Zambians to rally behind the team, saying their support would inspire the players to give their best on the pitch. Zambia is placed in Group A alongside Egypt, Sierra Leone, Tanzania and regional rivals South Africa. The group is expected to be tightly contested, with every match playing a crucial role in determining who advances to the knockout stage. The technical bench is working to fine-tune strategies and correct lapses identified in the first match as the team aims to secure a vital win that could enhance their chances of progressing in the tournament.
The training so far is looking good. Everyone is pushing, and we are ready for the weekend's game. The pressure will always be there, looking at the past game that we have played, and we are looking forward to win the weekend's game. The pressure will always be there, like I said, but it's up to us as players how we can contain and manage pressure. Us as players, we are just encouraging each other to work more extra hard and to pray for the badge, and definitely we will win the weekend's game. The draw wasn't the result that we wanted, but in football, three results are involved. There is lose, win, and draw. So we just thank the Almighty for the draw, and we are looking forward for Egypt. It's not even that much crucial, and us as the players, we believed in ourselves and we'll do it. Fans, the way how they are, they always want us to win. And looking from the past results, it's a disappointment to the fans because all what they want is the best from us, and we'll deliver on the Saturday's game against Egypt because we believe in ourselves. All we can say to the fans, continue supporting us. We'll give you the results that you want.
That item brings us to the end of our main news tonight. Remember, you have been catching us live on Topstar channel 106 as well as CamStream app. We are also coming to you live on our Facebook page, Camnet TV, and also on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. NGOCC demands justice for 10-month-old baby who died in Livingstone stampede. Opposition, civil society challenge President HICHILEMA to honor dialogue commitments. ZCLU demands probe into death and prolonged detention of female suspect in police custody. In international news, Algeria to unveil military mobilization bill amid rising regional tensions. And in sports news, Zambia under-20 gears up for crucial clash against Egypt. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Romans 10, verse 4. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night. Do enjoy the rest of our programming, and God bless you all.